Welcome to Agent Mastery Coaching. My name is Aaron Harrington, and today we are going to go into how to start a real estate business. It took me a long time to put this together, so I'm excited to present it. When I first got into real estate, I was an absolute failure. I'd come from a technology background, and I thought I had all the ideas on how to start a real estate business, on how to sell real estate better than anybody's ever sold real estate in my entire life, and I absolutely crashed and failed on my nose. I was on my way to hand in my real estate license. That's how close I got to getting out of real estate. So I made this course because I don't want you to do the same thing. I want you to get up and running, and I want you to get up and running quick, and I want you to get it up and running in 6 months. This is intense. It's really, really intense. So you need to focus. You need to take a lot of notes. You need to get out a pen and a paper, and you need to follow the directions. I know that you're going to have internal desires. They're going to want to pull you in other directions. I can't tell you that those are going to be helpful. A lot of them are not going to be helpful. They're going to waste your time. What I can tell you is if you stay focused here, you're going to sell 6 to 10 houses in the next 180 days. You're going to sell 10 to 20 houses in a year if you continue past this 6-month ramp up. This is also going to get you the foundation to getting to the next level. This is not about building teams. This is not about becoming a leader. This is not about mailing to 10,000 rooftops. This is about building the basic building block for a real estate business. I want to see you have success. I've watched way too many people not have success. So that's why I built this course. I know you can do it because I did it. So let's get into this. The big question is, how do you build a real estate business? When you first get into real estate, maybe you've read a book, maybe you asked some friends, maybe you have some of your own ideas like I did in my head. It's very important that you know what paths you have available to you to build a business. So I want to go over these. Number one is an internet-based business. Next is a farming business, and then the one that I love the most, a referral-based business, often referred to as a relationship-based business. A lot of people may say, well, wait, what if you just want to represent builders? That's a relationship-based business or a referral-based business. Or they may say, but I just want to represent banks. That's all I want to do. I want to do bank business. Well, a bank business is a referral-based business. Or you may say, well, I just want to do open houses on the weekend and focus on my neighborhood and meet some of the families at the Parent-Teacher Association. That would be a farming-based business. Or you may say, well, I just want to build a website and drive a bunch of traffic to my website and take what I can get. That would be an internet-based business. There are many different variations of these types of businesses, but generally speaking, a real estate business will fall into one of these 3 buckets. So let me unpack each one of these buckets for you. Let's start with the first bucket. This is the internet-based business. And this type of business has so much allure for so many people, me included. I started my real estate business in 2004. I came from the technology world, and I thought I knew how to harness technology, build a website, drive traffic to it, get leads, sell houses. I was wrong. I failed. An internet-based business is a business where maybe you make an agreement with Zillow and you do advertising with Zillow. They give you leads, realtor.com. Maybe you do some pay-per-click campaigns to drive traffic in a certain direction to a funnel. Or you're working your social media and trying to funnel traffic that way, or hold yourself out as the expert. So people say, whoa, wait, when I think about real estate, I think about Aaron. Or maybe you're doing some videos of cities that you want people to come and move to and see. And so you put on the video with hopes that they'll reach out to you and get an area tour in that area. That is an internet-based business. An internet-based business, and I'm not saying internet-based business is completely wrong, but it is a very expensive business to start. It has a very low conversion ratio, which this is where a lot of new agents really have a falling down with an internet-based business. You're lucky if out of 100 leads that you get from the internet, that you close 2 to 5 of those. In reverse, that means that you're wasting time with 95 out of 100 people that you get inquiries from. I want to tell you a quick story. I had some clients that called me on a Tuesday, and they said, Aaron, we want to write an offer on this house. And my first response was, well, maybe we should go see it first. And they said, we already saw it. We saw it on the weekend. And I said, well, how did you see it? There wasn't an open house. And they said, well, we saw it on Redfin, and so we clicked the button, and we met the agent there to show us the house. We really loved it, and now we want to write an offer. And our friend told us that you are the best negotiator, and you are going to take great care of us. We want to write this house up. And I sold it. That is an example of how on the internet it is very difficult to build know, like, and trust. It is a very dog-eat-dog world on the internet. Generally speaking, the people that you have great relationships with are going to be a lot easier to work with. That's why there's a very low conversion ratio on the internet. This leads to a very high burnout rate with people that start a business such as an internet-based business. I'm not saying that you can't start a business like this. I have known some great agents from around the country that have started businesses like this, but they generally convert their businesses down the road into referral-based businesses. Let's move into the next bucket. Next, a farming business. A farming business is a very classical way to start a real estate business. This was a way that a lot of people started businesses in the 80s, before the internet. You pick 5,000, 10,000 rooftops, and you mail to those rooftops twice a month. You do an open house in that area where those rooftops are every weekend. You're involved in the local schools in that area. You're holding the Easter egg hunts in those areas. You are getting deep with those people in a very concentrated area. And you have tremendous product knowledge of the homes, the zoning ordinances in those areas. You are the area expert. This is not a business that won't work, but is very expensive. It's a slow ramp up, and while you're spending a ton of money at the beginning, it can be very stressful. You can be out $5,000 a month for 6 months and you haven't made your money back, and the missus comes to you and she says, how are we doing? Do we have any sales yet? And that only increases your stress level. I want to put a disclaimer here. I did farming. I did farming late in my career, in the last 5 years of my career. It was profitable. However, in year one, I was lucky to break even. So a farming business can work, but you have to be ready for the stress and for the expenses. Let's take a look at the next one. All right, let's talk about the third path you can go down to build a real estate business. And this is a relationship-based approach to building a real estate business. Everything that I have today, everything, even my wife, I can trace it back to this. It's a long story, but I can. I owe to building a real estate business like this. Some of my greatest friends that I have right now, I owe because I built a real estate business like this. My financial success, I have because I built a real estate business like this. So this type of business is very dear to my heart. It's the type of business where you build know, like, and trust with relationships, and they build know, like, and trust with you. And that's how you generate the referrals. They hear real estate, top of mind. Who's the person that I have the highest know, like, and trust with? Aaron. I think about real estate. I think about Aaron. You need to have a conversation with Aaron. That's how the referrals are passed. It is a simple, repeatable, and it's also a sustainable business. I'm going to teach you this program for the next 6 months. But after that, you can go million miles more with this program. And I hope you do. And I hope you get coaching so that we can help you get there. The reality is this is your fastest path to lasting income. It is a wonderful life to go down the avenue of building a business by relationship. My guess is that you came to real estate to make money and to change your life, to change the life for your family, to provide stability for you and your family, financially first and foremost. The real key here in choosing a path to go down in real estate is that you choose a path that fits who you are and that it provides an income that allows you to survive. After that, you also need a path that allows you to accumulate and invest your wealth. I want to show you a little bit here about my journey so that you can take a look at this. I don't know what your financial picture looks like, but if this is something that you want to build, it is doable. In years 1 and 2, I used an internet-based business approach to building a business, and I was an absolute failure. Year 3, I switched to a referral-based business, 18 closings, $105,000. Years 5 through 9, I was coached. And in those years, consistently, I was right around $250,000 in gross commission incomes each year. Now, with a referral-based business, it's a very small cost-based business, so most of the $250,000 was profitable. Years 12 through 18, I had a good-sized team. I became a much better leader of leading people and hiring people. My income ballooned up. I got into the $700,000 to $800,000 a year category, which was a big jump. And in years 19 and 20, really started to make some differences and hit $1 million a year in net income in those years. All from the beginnings of going down the path of a relationship-based business. I will add an asterisk that towards the end of my career in the last 5 years, I did do some farming in my marketplace. So there you have it. The 3 paths that you have that you can go down to start a real estate business. And if you want to go down the path of building an internet-based business, I'm not your coaching organization for that. Not to say that later on in your career in phase 2 or phase 3 that we can't build upon your business with the internet, but to get you started, it's such a low percentage rate of success that I am not your coach to start a real estate business when you're just getting started in real estate. If you have an established business and you want to expand upon that, I will help you with the internet. Farming-based businesses, again, if you want to start in real estate with a farming-based business, I am not your coaching organization that's going to support starting from scratch a real estate business in the form of a farming-based business. I love the referral system. It's changed my life, as I've already mentioned. It's the type of business that is low cost, high profit, can make a difference in your life financially, and it will bring happiness and joy into your everyday life because you'll be spending so much time with your friends. That's the type of business that I teach. If that's the type of business that you want to go into, I hope you continue on in this series, and let's build you a gigantic business that you have a lot of money. If you're ready, let's get started. However, I know you're going to have this inclination to spend time in your Instagram account, spend time in your LinkedIn account, to spend time in your TikToks and YouTube videos and your email. I know you're going to have these gravitational pulls to spend a lot of time in there. I want you to get out of those habits. The people that created all of those products are people that created those products to distract you. Why did they create those products to distract you? Because they could monetize them. And with monetizing them, they could make a lot of money. I need you to step out of that for a brief period of time to build a business and to get serious about making money for yourself. I don't want you to change the play. Just run the play that I tell you to run. It's that simple. Agents who follow the system are going to sell a lot of houses, and they're going to make a lot of money. And they're going to be the ones that are getting on planes and going to Italy for vacations and taking their families to Europe and Africa and Asia. Just follow the system. While you're on vacation, you can get back on Instagram. But for right now, I want you to stay off of those things that are distractions, that are pulling your time away. This is a 6-month plan for success. It's not easy. It's going to require you to be super laser focused. And I need you to get super focused and disciplined. Discipline is about doing things that move the needle. Let's get into it.